Hello, everyone. This is the voice of the speaker, and here we have our first ever session of the Rings of Inasvine campaign. Uh, for you guys listening, this is my first time streaming something of for myself and for my campaigns. Uh, I have very little experience with this software, with OBS and with Foundry, but I am here. My friends are here to help tell a story.
Indeed, we are. I've also never participated in a in a live stream or anything like that. But my name is Mark. The little bouncy apple you see is my PNG tuber Malice. It means apple in Latin. I I tried to go all out for this, but yeah, I hope this is entertaining for everybody, myself included.
Good
Fair enough.
afternoon, everybody. My name's Carlos. I'm gonna be playing the Dragonborn Calzayas. I've also never done any type of stream, but hey, I'm here to have a good time and hopefully learn how this process goes.
Yeah, and there's bound to be some audio, some visual stuff that's gonna happen, and we're just gonna be trying our best here. But just for you guys to know, I've known Carlos and Mark for a long time. We've been playing for quite a few years. I've been DMing for quite a few years more than that. And this campaign is set in a sort of not necessarily dystopian, like futuristic, but definitely Magitech setting with a lot of influence from steampunk, a little bit of influence from fantasy settings, and I might do a vocal description of the Rings of Inasvine, but this session will be set around two of the players' characters. Normally, I would have done just one at a time, but these guys decided that they're going to be playing cousins to each other. So I figured, why not do their session zeros together? Uh, and one more thing that I do need to mention that I've told my players extensively. This first arc. I've warned these guys. It is going to be a little bit brutal. I told them, hey, don't get too comfortable. There's a very good chance that, or I'm sorry, there is a chance that they might not make it past the first arc. On a personal note, if you are a budding DM and you want to start up a campaign, do not have your first ever arc be a you might die arc, because that is not a good idea.
I mean, I don't mind.
I mean, I'm
Right.
It
I'm more saying like, hey, I'm gonna start up my first ever campaign. You might die in like the first session. Do not do that for your first campaign. But
unless your players are cool with it.
yeah, yeah, unless the players are cool with it. But I mean, if you're starting DM, don't do that. That's my opinion.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not sure if I told you guys this in advance, but I did want to go into a little bit more like deeper backstories.
Oh, I figured, but yeah, I don't mind that at all. Also gives me a chance to explain my character more, or at all, really.
All right, and so we are going to, as I said before, this is a Magitech setting. There's normally a lot of technology in the more popular parts of Inasvine, but we are going to be heading to what the rings of Inasvine surround: the elemental tempest, known colloquially as the Far Quarter, as the source of elements within this magical demiplane. There's a whole lot of encampments all across its surface. Some are just simple mining communities, some are farming communities, try to some settlements try to do a little bit of logistics between all of them. However, very few of them achieve something a little bit more than just providing a little bit of resources to the rings on the outside. One of those settlements is called Blacksoot, where not only a thriving like surface level operation is happening, with farming and crafting. It's honestly its own self-sustaining ecosystem. But beneath the surface, there's an active exploration, mining uh, encampment. And while living on the far quarter is tough, here in Blacksoot, there is a degree of protection, a degree of safety, and to everyone who comes by, the guarantee of a little bit of family. Now, we are going to be beginning this session with you guys in your adolescence. But if you guys would like to introduce your characters uh, as we would see them in their adolescence, if you could please describe them, then that'd be great.
Sure. How old are you thinking about?
I'm thinking like 12, maybe 13.
All right.
Though I guess it's important to ask, who is older and who is younger?
Uh, Carthon is 28. That's what I've written down. I don't know if Calzias would be older or younger.
You're older. As listen, my guy has 26.
All right, I am 2 years my little cousin's senior. So, listen, good cousin. I don't know what's going on. Okay, but then I'd be like 12 and he'd be 10. All right, sounds good. Well, I guess as a 12-year-old Dragonborn, I think Dragonborn age pretty quickly. Yeah, I'd probably be actually fairly close to grown up. But if you want to say 12 equivalent human years, then yeah, I'm a little Dragonborn, little brass Dragonborn with stubby wings. I don't think they've grown in all the way. Um, just likes playing in the fields. Working the dirt like his parents, though probably that ends up being more playing in the dirt. Even as 12-year-old, Carthon's probably not the most mature person in the world. He likes to have a little bit of fun. Oh, and he has horns. Very important.
Fair enough. And could you describe your character, Carlos? Describe Calzias for us.
Sure. Calzias is a red dragonborn with black patches of scales, black horns, and black talons and claws. For a 10-year-old dragonborn, he's a bit larger than average. Something he inherited from his mother's side of the family. He's a bit more reserved than Quatharn. More quiet, more studious. He more pays attention than just plays around, especially when it comes to what his parents do in the mines.
You might actually be bigger than me, considering our draconic gifts or heritages or whatever. I got the wings one. You got the absolute unit one.
Yeah, that is true. Calzayas is an absolute unit, especially when we get back to the present, where he is standing at a massive 6'8".
Wow, yeah, I'm like what 6'3". That's pretty short for it. That's actually yeah, that's a little shorter than average for a Dragonborn. All right, but that's later. Later.
Alright. And so let me ask you guys something. What is one core memory that you guys have together in your adolescence? I do have something planned for you guys, but what is something that you guys still talk about to this day?
You know, I'm just spitballing here since I didn't think about it before. But considering we're both connected to the Earth, kind of, maybe we like found a cave one day when we were playing together and we explored it or something like that.
Hmm.
Thoughts, Carlos?
I would imagine in this case it was more like you dragged me along,
Yeah.
especially since I'm the quote expert on
Yeah,
caves.
come on. You want to be a miner when you grow up anyway. We should check this out. Come on, there could be like gold down there or whatever. We could be rich.
I doubt there's gonna be gold down there. Also, considering how close this is to the volcano, it might be unstable.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We can breathe fire. We can counter. We can fight fire with fire. That's a saying, right?
Yes, but I don't really think that saying is accurate. See, by
Well, I
fighting
mean,
fire, you just get a bigger fire.
yeah, if you're too scared, if you're too abyssal chicken, if you're too Archaeopteryx, I might be stretching the metaphor here a little bit. The dragon version of chicken, or rather,
You know what? I
dinosaur
think
version.
Archaeopteryx works in this sense.
All right, yeah, I might be too Archaeopteryx. I'm writing this down. Archaeopteryx is Dino Rider equivalent of chicken.
Note to self: research potential dinosaur insults.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be. I guess Draconic in that case is very similar to Latin because most dinosaur names come from Latin words.
Listen, there's always one fantasy language that's basically Latin. So why
Yeah.
not?
I
Eh,
mean, Carthon and Calzias, they sound kind of Latin.
a little.
All right.
So, so I would like one of you guys to please roll me a survival check.
Uh.
Feel free to use your stats right now.
All
But I
right.
would like one of you guys to please make a survival check to see how the exploration of the cave goes.
Would this count as wayfinding?
No.
Oh,
Wayfinding would require you to be on the surface.
got it. Well, I got a +4 to survival. What about you, Carlos?
I also got a plus four to survival.
All right. Uh,
If you both want to
you
roll survival and have this be a little bit of a competition as you guys get lost.
All right, let's do that. I like that. Um, all
Eh,
right, no modifiers. Roll survival check. I don't see what I rolled. Let's check.
I think you rolled a natural 20.
Oh, really? Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta update my I gotta reload the thing. I couldn't see my dice roll. The Foundry, I mean.
Uh,
Why can't I choose to
Oh,
roll
hooray!
from
I did roll a
this?
natural 20. First roll natural 20. Yeah, it's gonna be a good campaign, guys.
yeah,
Now you have to roll.
and nothing bad's ever gonna happen. Uh, if,
No.
if you go to if you want to like double click on your token,
Hmm.
Carlos, you'll pull up your character sheet and go to skills.
Oh, that's why I'm on the wrong sheet. I'm looking at Mark. God.
Bruh.
There we go. Roll survival check. 12.
Yeah, so yeah, Carthon exploring there's quite a few different caves nearby Black Soot, particularly some like surface level mining shafts, and there is a quite like even though it's really mapped out, it's really not recommended to go down that way since not really a lot of people go into the surface level mining operations or like the mine shafts because everyone's so deep at this point. They're just sort of vestigial at this point. But for curious children like yourselves, you're just going through and just kicking rocks, seeing some interesting marks, of mined away veins. Is there anything you guys are looking for in particular as you go through?
I did say gold, but probably more like just anything cool or yeah, anything cool or maybe unusual,
Yeah.
maybe like I don't know, lizards, but no, probably like inanimate objects like gold or treasures of a lost age or something like that.
Oh, buddy, you definitely find some treasures of the lost age. You find stuff. You find like crystals, like shattered crystals on the ground. Few few really interesting rocks. Super cool. Super absolutely cool stuff.
That is awesome.
Whoops.
I think Calzaius is more concerned with
Hey,
making
Cal,
sure he doesn't go the wrong way, take a bad turn, and making sure he doesn't get us killed. Because if he gets us killed, I'm gonna punch him.
Cal, are you looking at this? This is the coolest stuff ever. It's just rocks. It's not gonna get us killed, unless these are rock monsters. I think we're safe though. I think.
Yeah, let's just make sure we don't wander into a part of the cave that's susceptible to collapse.
Yeah. Uh. Also, gotta make sure there's no poisonous gas in here. I guess. I don't know. I can still breathe fine.
And walking through the passages a little bit, there is quite a little bit of just small little knickknacks, worthless by our standards, but to adolescent, to kids, super cool. And going through a few passages of darkness, there is a slight shake in the ground. You notice the vibration of a few pebbles, the deep growl of the mountain, as something deep within stirs.
Okay. All right. That's probably not good. Eruption, monster. Okay, mate. I think you might have been right, Cal. Let's get out of here. Or we could poke around a little more. Just poke our heads around the corner and then leave. Hmm.
The roar of the very earth beneath us and the cave shaking is not enough to dissuade you? Well,
Hmm.
fine, let's go. But again, if we die here, I'm punching your ghost.
All right. Yeah, I actually don't know how brave my character would be in this situation. That's something I've not really accounted for. But because I think it would be funny, I think we should go check this out at least a little bit. I don't. I know you said it would be deadly. I don't think you're gonna kill us in the prologue, though. I think.
Hmm.
Would you really kill children, Paul? Would you really be that cruel? Or voice, whatever your name is. Would you
Yeah.
really kill us now that I've forgotten your name?
You know what? No. Uh,
Okay.
walking closer to towards like the movement. Uh, like you're just like following like the inconsistent throws of noise through the caves, and eventually you guys begin to hear, or I'm sorry, you guys begin to see like you coming by. There's like some of rusted, uh, tracks for like minecarts. But now like you come to a new cave and it's actually like cleaned off, maintained steel. You look nearby and there's actually like some mining picks that are laid against the walls. And just the evidence that this place has been recently worked.
I I guess it was nothing. Just maybe some of the miners using alchemist fire or something to blast open rocks. Yeah, I don't know what you were so scared about, Cal.
And then guys begin to hear the scraping of metal. Like, it's very familiar of just like the mine carts of rolling along the tracks. Sometimes it's a little bit rough. Sometimes they hit few bumps, but gets very loud very quickly as you guys can see some like light sources to your left, like emerging across the bend.
Oh, well, I guess I'd like to roll stealth. I don't want the adults to know that we found a secret way in here.
I mean, secret's a very loose term, but
Secret. It feels secret to me.
fair enough. Roll stealth if you wish, Corthon.
All right.
Yeah, I'm also gonna roll stealth because I do not want this getting back to my parents that I was exploring an abandoned mine shaft.
Oh, there it is. 7. Rip. Oh, now it's your turn for the critical success.
And as you guys begin to, you guys take cover behind some of the nearby rock fixtures, and the sound of scraping metal gets louder and louder as you can hear just like the loud stepping of some sort of dinosaur. In Black Soot, a common it's not super common for like people to have dinosaurs, but those who operate like those higher risk positions and higher risk duties do like to have dinosaurs on their side as they work. And the feeling of like those large footfalls hitting the ground, and the sound of people yelling like, "All right, we're almost there. We just need to get to the surface." Yes, sir. And just the general yelling of like just people organizing in this mine shaft. And eventually, as you guys are like hiding, like multiple individuals of multiple different heritages come by. You see a few dwarves, quite a few humans. You do see a few Dragonborns, and they are carrying what seems to be a minecart, and you just see like feet hanging over the side, like humanoid feet.
uh,
Oh no.
do they look panicked like they're trying to get out of here as fast as possible, or
Uh, I'm gonna say with your natural passive insight, you you're not entirely sure. They definitely are hustling though.
Do I recognize any of these people from town?
You do actually recognize one of them. One of these workers is your uncle. Pro-
Uh,
Honestly, both of your uncles.
okay, so not Calzias' dad either.
Nah.
Big extended family. Uh, I don't know, Cal. If they're stuck down here, yeah, we should tell them we found another way in or out.
I mean, there's multiple entrances. Like once again, it's not super.
Okay,
It's not a super hidden route. It's just a route that you guys have found.
got it. All right. Maybe not then. Yeah. Carthage has no particular desire
Down
to.
there, because again, you go ahead.
Oh, Carthon doesn't have any particular desire to interact with these people. In that case, just people watching, people spying.
Maybe we shouldn't let them know that we're down here because they don't exactly want kids exploring down in the mine shafts. They could get into very serious trouble,
Yeah, that's a
especially
good.
since that's one of our uncles.
I mean, okay, that's a good idea.
And as you have this conversation, are you sorry guys. Uh, the sound, that same like strong vibration and that noise comes once again deeply from the mine shafts, and it's a little bit louder as the you hear quite a few rocks hitting the ground. No, nothing nearby you guys seems like bigger than like a softball, but there's enough movement to shake the shaft around you. As the yelling gets a little bit more hurried, having gone past you.
Okay, you had your fun. We explored the cave. We should get out of here now.
All right, yeah, let's leave then. Yeah, we. I think we. Yeah, I think we found as much as we're gonna. It was cool though. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, what we found it is very cool, but I really do not want to get in trouble.
Hey, I'm
If we
agreeing with you,
go,
man. Let's go.
Fair enough. And you guys begin to head on back. And thankfully, with your natural 20 Carthon, you are able to navigate past, like back the way you came through the vestigial tunnels. And you guys are actually able to pass by like a few areas where like the passage isn't like completely covered in dirt and debris. However, they weren't there just like, 10 minutes ago. It's not too much of an issue, but the seismic events keep on happening and keep on happening.
are they like happening like closer and closer to each other, or like is it like even intervals?
Uh, More even than not. Probably like once, like every 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay,
All right.
as long as they're not becoming more frequent.
Yeah, that would not be great.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah. And as you guys like come back to the surface, and get back to mom and dad for dinner. There is a little bit of talk of like the earthquake, and while it was it's a issue of slight concern, and but people are relaxed, and they're saying, calming voices to the children of just, hey, we're gonna send word to the rings. We're going to get to this all figured out before it becomes more disastrous. Anybody have any questions around these reassuring responses?
What happened exactly,
Uh, pe-
mom and dad?
Carthon, apparently there's apparently the elements nearby Black Soot are beginning to rile up. There's a few different places, there's a nearby volcano. There's a few different oases. We just while we don't have the resources to quell or to begin to take care of these surges of elemental energy, we're going to be going up the food chain to ask help from the rings to make sure they can stabilize the elemental energy so that it's more manageable and isn't going to have any major repercussions for the village.
Well, I guess that's good. I know the people on the rings are really fancy and strong, so yeah, it'd be really cool if they could help out.
Will the mines be closed for a few days?
We'll close down for probably a day or two just to make sure everything is nice and stable. And if everything's fine, we'll continue working at Calzaias.
Okay.
Don't worry. Last time this happened a few years ago, the ring they eventually sent a representative, a few druids, stabilized the land, and we were able to continue work, and it was all safe and spick. I won't put too much worry about it. And your parent ruffles your hair a little, or
Hair?
I
Hair,
I mean
yes.
I still have not seen your new Hero Forge. I don't know if you have hair. They ruffle your
I
horns.
do not have hair.
That would be
Or
anatomically impossible, actually.
Do not do this to me, Mark.
All right, fine.
Not on stream, please.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, thank you.
I get what you're trying to say.
If you say so, if it's not too dangerous. Yo, how long does it usually take for the people up in the rings to send people down here?
You know, it takes a little bit of time, but I mean, last time it took like about 4 months.
That seems kind of like a long time.
Hey, well, they got to us, and nothing severe happened enough so that it couldn't be fixed. So
Well, that,
if we just send word now, then they'll eventually get here.
well, that's good.
Hmm.
If you
And
say so.
and as the days blur together from your childhood years, about 4 years later, once you guys are about, I I think probably Carthon, you're probably around like 17. Calzaius, you're probably about 15.
All right.
Fun fact about dinosaurs. There is not a whole lot of tame, like, it's really hard to tame a dinosaur, like, to truly domesticate. Or maybe not domesticate, they're still wild animals. But to tame, like, a litter takes a lot of time. It's not just like, hey, every single year we have a batch to, like, provide for our young individuals of Black Soot. No, this is like a once in like every 3 to 5 years event.
Got it. They're not handing them out like starter Pokemon.
No, and even then, like they don't. They only provide it to like individuals who like show a little bit of dedication and promise. And so you both have been told about this day well in advance. And probably about a group of 50 teenagers from Blacksoot are gathered in this event where essentially you're trying to find a connection with one of these dinosaurs.
That's actually really interesting.
And as you guys are coming up, of your family, only three of you guys are coming up for this event. The rest are either did not get the approval of the village, did not have they don't have the temperament to handle a massive pet, or they simply don't want that they don't want to mess with caring and essentially taming a dinosaur.
Okay, so this is like some lucky kids in the colony can get dinosaurs that are like their lifelong companions or something.
Yeah,
It reminds me of Dinotopia. That's cool.
yeah, and while there are some exceptions, like sometimes adults do participate in this if they've lost a dinosaur. That's more of an exception rather than the rule. And given how peaceful Blacksoot's been, it's just people around your age. And it's you, Carthon, you, Calzias, and another cousin that you're familiar with, Carthon, but you are very familiar with Calzias, your twin sister, Mayatho.
Alright then.
How do you spell that? I didn't actually know I had a twin sister until right
No,
now.
Calzias'
No, I
twin
have the twin
sister.
sister.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad.
It was already written in the chat. Give me a sec so I could
I got you.
find it
Thank
for
you.
Uh,
you. Thank you.
All right.
and she is coming up and just a little bit like taking a few deep breaths as the rest of you guys. Once again, it's not just your family; it's quite a few other families are like sending their children to this moment.
Yeah.
Mayatho just step in with similar scales to Halzias. Just this. Are you guys feeling this? A little bit of
Uh,
anxiety, a little bit of hope. You know, I've read about stuff like this. Some of these dinosaurs have really sharp teeth, right? I mean, even though we're all grown up, and I think our scales can probably take a few stabs. I mean, we could die trying to meet these guys.
I
I
wasn't
know.
trying to think about it, but thank you for that.
No
Yeah.
problem, bro.
I hope we'll be okay. I'm sure we'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be totally fine. Carthon is clearly trying to, hype himself up.
I'm
Fam-
sure you'll be fine, Quathon. The creatures seem to like you a lot more. At least whenever you come across one that's already been tamed.
well, we can only see what's gonna happen in the future. Though I do remember that time you found that little pet. What did you find, Carthon? When you were like younger, took care of it. Everyone thought you were a little bit crazy for taking care of this small little thing.
Uh, was it a pet rock?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to let that be a pet rock.
All right, yeah. I think he ran away. Flashes back to Carthon, accidentally knocking him over a cliff.
Just I can just imagine the Darth Vader screech of no.
It was an accident, Rocky. I didn't mean to. I have nightmares about it every night. No, I'm a very well-adjusted 17-year-old, actually.
Are you sure about that? Anyway,
I'm pretty sure.
as you guys are and as you guys are led up to a little bit to the outskirts of the settlement, you see that there's quite a few pens with, very tough looking stone fencing in various different pens. Uh, Going by, there's probably about four different dinosaurs, like species on display. There are small raptors that are like their fencing is the highest but thinnest, as they're just hopping along various different like small bits of vegetation. You see that there is like one like the probably the one of the more arcane fences are housing a what seems to be like a T-Rex, like a really baby T-Rex, but still a T-Rex that gives everyone the look without, you know, having immediate murderous intent. But there are two others. There are two other pins. As I, for the first time, activate another scene. That is not.
Damn. It says on my end. It says the game is paused.
Yes, but are you guys able to see the scene?
Uh,
I'm seeing a black screen. What about you, Carlos?
Dude,
screen.
Okay, now I
there
see
is
it. I
an
see it.
obvious issue here, and I'm gonna
No,
probably need to fix it.
no, I like it. No, I see it now. I see it
Right
now.
now.
Do you guys see the issue?
All the dinosaurs seem to be clones of each other.
Uh, okay, that's. Oh no. Uh,
This is
these
our
the
first session, everybody. Welcome to the stream.
do they actually look like Protoceratops, or are they like? Do they have the face of a
No,
frog?
no, that's clearly a Protoceratops. I see three Protoceratops and
Yeah, they look like a
five
triceratops.
Parasaurolophuses and another Dragonborn. I think, unless
Uh,
it's the T-Rex.
to everyone else on the stream, because apparently it looks different on the stream. That is the profile picture of another player character that I may have accidentally mixed up the images with the Protoceratops.
Where?
To everybody, we are going to just.
Yep. To Paul, or the voice, the Protoceratopses might look like Splurbod. I see a Protoceratops though.
Yeah, I see Protoceratops. I
We
see my character. I see Quathon, and I see another. I'm guessing that's Neathal.
Yes, that is correct, and you know what? We're gonna just go with it.
All right.
Just for those who are listening, these are the frogs, the things with the frogger faces are supposed to be dinosaurs.
Damn, I'm actually not looking at the stream. I kind of want to look at it now.
If you want to, it's not gonna give you any more information at this point.
It would throw off my groove. I'll look at it later.
But right now, while a lot of people are coming up to like to the T-Rex pins, and quite a few, including Myathel, heading to the Raptors. which I do not have on this map.
That's
Not
fine.
a few individuals come up to the Hadrosaur and the Protoceratops cages.
I think Carthon is immediately drawn to one of the Parasaurolophus slash Hadrosaurs. I'm going to roll a 1d5 to see which of them I'm most interested in. Which one will be my companion, going from top to bottom, left to right. All right, I gotta roll a d. I don't see a d5. Let's roll a d6 and re-roll if it's a 6. 4. I am immediately. Arthon is immediately drawn to this one. Will he move? No.
If you left click on your character and then use WASD, you can move.
1 second. Loading the map.
By the way, like Avery, you can just roll whatever dice you wish. So if you did a
Me.
/R, 1d5.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, I'm drawn to this one, the one that is directly to my right.
Can't seem to get the WASD working.
You have to left click your character first.
I have.
All right. Well, regardless,
And like, and as you come up to these hadrosaurs, let me just make one quick. There we go, Carlos. Now it's working.
Alright.
And as you come
Cool.
up, to these hadrosaurs, Carthon, these two that are right next to each other, they both look at you with like the big eyes, and they're eating the hay at their feet.
aw.
But they're like really close, like side to side.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to separate them. They're clearly a bonded pair.
All right, and so what do you do?
Um, well, I guess I'll ignore them and go on to a different one. AK, the one that I'm standing right next to. I back up.
I'll be very honest. One of them does come up to you and just looks to like up to you and like expectantly.
Okay, all right. I guess, yeah. I
Uh,
guess I rolled that d6. Fair enough.
uh,
Um,
this one like opens their mouth and like sort of like I'm voice is not a dinosaur expert, but I guess it sort of moos at you.
moo. There's a So I know that there is a theory that the horn on the Parasaurolophus, which I keep saying Parasaurolophus, it's a species of hadrosaur, that the horn on its head was like a chamber for vocalization, like an air pocket that it used to make extra loud noises. But who knows if that's scientifically accurate or not? It's just a theory, a dinosaur theory.
Thanks for watching. Please don't leave.
But yeah. Alright, so it bellows really loud at me if that's canon in this universe. Anyway. No, that one's too loud.
Uh, and like it still looks up at you with expectation.
No, I,
Do you try to move past it?
uh, I imagine that I actually am backing up and I trip over the one behind me, kind of, and thanks to my dexterity, managed to stand on my feet. I turn around, and I think this one's Rava.
The one you trip over?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I say to the dinosaur, knowing full well it can't understand me.
Speaking of that, the one that like mooed at you approaches,
No, you're too loud. I don't like it when dinosaurs jump on my leg. I say, trying to shoo it away.
and it does not like stop. It is continually approaching, and
You know how when you go to like the petting zoo, there's always that goat that tries to eat your pants. That's what I'm imagining right now.
Oh God.
all right. Give me a second. Do not question what I'm about to do. It is out of context. It sounds really weird. But uh, you're gonna really enjoy this.
Right? I'm scared. I'm very scared.
Uh, so as like you trip over and like this other Hadrosaur like slightly moves at you, but then like as it's like coming out, it is going to bite the one that's bothering you. Uh, I believe a 11. I'm sorry, I don't believe a 10 hits.
Not sure. An attempt was made.
Maybe it's the fact that they're all the same token. Anyway,
Right.
they begin to like yell at each other. One of them begins to like bite the other one, bothering you, and they are just yelling at each other now. And at this point, these two just take a moment to walk away from the noise. But this mysterious Hadrosaur that's like their partner, like they begin to like come on up, and they're like headbutting this annoying Hadrosaur. Like not like trying to kill it, but just like no, stop, rude.
And one of the ones that's doing the protecting is Rava, right?
Uh, I will
Or is
say,
she the one being bullied?
this one is the one being annoying. These two are the ones, essentially telling them to stop being annoying.
All right.
If this is Rava, Rava will have a bonded friend.
No, no, no. I bet no. It better not be one of the ones from the bonded pair. Hey, fine, okay. I've gotten over the annoyingness. Hey, hey, stop bullying the little guy. I again.
Cough, cough, cough. This is to decide one of like Rava's personality features.
Oh, all
Uh,
right. I didn't
all,
know
all,
Robin was like
all,
have a
all of these.
personality.
This is like all these five Hadrosaurs have different personality traits.
Got it. I
It is your decision to decide which one is Rava.
got it. Okay. I actually didn't realize that. Thank you for explaining that, Paul.
No
You know what?
problem.
Now that I know I have a little bit more choice in the matter, you know what? It seems like there's two bonded pairs, and this one getting bullied. Yeah, Carthon can relate to that. Hey, it's all right. I pull that one away and say, is this someone that was like biting my pants or whatever?
Yes.
All right. Hey, look, sorry. I might have perhaps I judged you too harshly. You're actually not that bad. Um,
And like as like you grab them, like the other two like squint and walk away together.
yeah. I appreciate how protective those other guys were, but I don't know. It's no fun getting pushed around, and I'm sure you know that now, even though you were just born like a couple days ago.
Meow.
Yeah, fine. I'm okay with dinosaur being loud, or maybe it's not loud for a dinosaur. I don't know. All right. Well, I
There's nothing
choose
wrong with a vocal pet.
Parasaurolophus. I choose you.
All right. Adding Rava quirks.
All right, great.
Likes attention, a bit quirky.
Yes, perfect. I like it.
Speaking of that, uh, Calzias.
Yeah, I'm not going towards them after seeing all of that go down. I'm probably gonna go towards the Protoceratops, which I'm gonna imagine in this setting are a bit larger than they were in real life because apparently Protoceratops are like tiny, tiny.
Yeah, they're a little bit larger, but these are still like young.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it's a
yeah.
group. Instead of a group of five, it's more of a group of three.
Yeah, I'm gonna go towards the Protoceratops. Definitely not going to the Raptors. Not gonna deal with the turkey dinos. Definitely not going towards the T Rex. I don't have a death wish.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, the T Rex is getting a lot of attention, and there's quite a few handlers nearby that are like trying to maintain keeping an eye on everything, and if anyone really acts out, they do get banished from this event or banned from this event.
Yeah, I already know somebody's gonna get their hand bitten off.
Sometimes it's just par for the course.
Yeah, I'll go towards the Protoceratops and see how they all react to me coming closer.
One of them does as soon as you enter the enclosure, they do back up, to the back of the enclosure. By the way, if you guys want to see what the people on stream are seeing, I put it in the quote channel.
Nice.
You see what my issue is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't adopt one of the frog dinosaurs, frogosaurs.
Frogosaurs. Lol. Uh, and as you come, the other two look at you, and this one right here, begins to stomp its foot at you. It
Alright then.
even though you're technically smaller than it, it is looking at you like you're beneath it.
Alright then. That one has a bit of a chip in the shoulder. I'm gonna I'm actually gonna I'm guessing these are bushes, right?
Uh, we're gonna say that's where a few the resting areas and food is.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab some food. See if any of them come towards me.
All right. Sorry, I should just let you move yourself. You begin to grab some food, and this one right here to your bottom left, they approach and nibble a little bit of food from your hands, even though they have a little bit of food. This one clearly goes past you to eat different food, and this one seems to be staring, just from a distance.
Uh, the one that is eating, they don't really seem all that interested, right?
Yeah, there is definitely a head empty vibe.
You know what? So I'm gonna see if I could coax the more timid one towards me.
How are you planning to do that?
Uh, I'm gonna walk a bit towards it with the hand outstretched with food. I'm guessing like one of them is like a branch with a lot of leaves on it. And when I'm like a third of the way towards them, I'm just gonna stop and just hold the hand out, see if they come closer.
And as you do that, they seem to just slowly come forward. And like as they like open their mouth and like reach for the food, they bite it a little bit too much. The branch breaks, and like the two halves like land on the ground. I'm sorry, the half it bites off like lands on the ground, and it like looks down at it like it's a little bit like taken off guard by the fact it happened.
I'll kneel down and pick up the branch and just hold it up to them again.
Uh, they bite it like a stick and just look at it.
Yeah, I'm not that scary, right? I'm gonna see if it'll let me touch him.
Uh, like it tilts its head, but like you touch it and just like it opens its mouth and the stick falls to the ground.
Yeah, imagine I have a good handful of food still, so I'm just while it's letting me touch, I'm just gonna continue feeding it.
Right? And like it takes the food and the aggressive one like, just keeps a healthy distance away from you and head empty like leans up against the gate. Like sort of just like lies
Yeah.
on its side, but this other one just like seems to just take a few gnoms of food. What do you what would you like to name this Protoceratops?
Orin.
Could you spell that out for me?
Yes, I can. Da, 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 da. I did spell it out somewhere. Auron.
Uh, Aurn
Ron.
or on friend.
And yeah, I'm good with the one that's a bit timid, but seems to be a lot stronger than they think. Head empty. Might not be good with helping me work, and I don't need the one with a chip on their shoulder. That's a headache waiting to happen.
Fair enough. The moments continue for a lot of the other youth of Black Soot. Most of the dinosaurs do find someone they're bound to, including one person taking the T Rex.
Who took the T Rex?
Nobody you
It has
know,
to be
but
one of the adults. It has to be
Okay.
one of the adults.
uh,
Well, let's hope that guy doesn't get eaten, or
uh,
girl.
if you really want me to figure out details on that, I'm more than happy to go back to that. However,
It's up
we're
to you.
we are going to go back to reception
All right, great.
because and
We have obtained dinosaurs. I see the
yeah,
I
I
see the
I,
background this time.
I will say my elf though does not bind themselves to one of the raptors. And while she is a little bit sad, Calzias, she wasn't too enthused about the ceremony.
Yeah, I figured. It's one of the things we've talked about before. Yeah, she more came to do this because it was kind of expected.
Yeah, even though she's a little bit of a prodigy, a little bit more of an intellectual than most of Black Soot. Yeah, you've talked with her a lot about it, and she is just not. Like it sort of confirms her thoughts and like what she expects to do. If you want to role play out that conversation.
So none of them went for you.
Well, five of them bit me, but like just like looks at the arm and like there's still a little bit of blood, but like
I
it's
mean,
wrapped in bandages.
you did go to the Velociraptors, so that's was kind of expected. But
I mean, they didn't tell us what was going to happen or who was available, and I figured out of all the options, if I go to the rings, maybe a raptor would fit in my purse.
I think you would have wanted a Microraptor then.
Yes, I'll just ask our breeders to make smaller dinosaurs for personal use. Yeah, they'll really get on board with that.
Still, silver lining. I imagine it might be a bit easier to get to the rings without, uh, a predator hanging around you. Carnivore.
She looks at you with a raised eyebrow and just like, aren't we carnivores though? I mean, sure
Yeah,
we do eat some vegetables, but I mean, we eat meat a lot.
yes,
I
but I
enjoy the
imagine yes, but I imagine the fancy types up there won't be so thrilled about somebody with an animal that might end up eating somebody's cat.
hmm, I've read about those. Shame they only have big cats here in the far quarter.
I mean, we have some of the smaller varieties, just most of them are kept up on the rings because it's safer.
I know. And I can barely imagine a rat surviving here, let alone something that can't take care of itself. Though I did think about, seeing if I could tame one of those elemental panthers. I forget what the specific name. I forget what the specific name of it is, but hey,
Maybe you should take up a few years of studying magic before you attempt that.
don't say that word around me. You're gonna make me feel like a nerd.
I mean, you say that like it's a bad thing. I like to study too, I don't find an issue with it.
Thanks, Cal. Now, and like looks over at Oron, who's been following the two of you this entire time. So, you're gonna bring it to your room?
I mean, we don't exactly have a pen set up yet,
Hmm,
and they're still small enough that they can fit inside our home.
fair enough. And just so you know, I'm not sharing any of my leg room for that.
Of course.
I'm gonna make I'm gonna make my dinosaur a great big pen in the yard, and grow it a garden and feed it. Lots of carrots and other plants. I don't actually know what dinosaurs like this like, but looks like a herbivore, so I'll figure it out. Yeah,
Uh, or are you sure that Rava is gonna be okay in the pen? She seems kind of. She seems like she likes a lot of attention.
I mean, I'll visit every day. Look, I think she'll get pretty too big for the house pretty fast, but I don't know.
Uh,
Super out of character.
I will say, as the years pass, if that is your strategy, Carthon, you spend probably about like 30% of your time like learning to farm and like improving your farming skills. Probably 20% of that time taking care of Rava. Another 30% of that time repairing the fences that Rava destroys. 10% of that time like picking up militia training, and the other 10% like free time.
Right. Not a lot of free time, but this is a society without many books or ways to entertain ourselves. So I guess that's fine.
I mean, there is entertainment. Like there's some games. There's probably a few like buildings just for like a few taverns. Probably a movie theater that's more like a Nickelodeon. Fun fact for those who don't know, a Nickelodeon originally was just like an improvised theater before Nickelodeon took it over and became the kids network. Fun fact.
Huh,
Interesting.
So
interesting. I did not know that.
improvised movie theaters were called Nickelodeons. Anyway,
Interesting.
if you don't know,
I
now you know.
I I, I, I imagine Cal spends most of his time either studying at the local library, taking care of Oren, training him to both as a mount and as to pull carts.
Question: why are you studying?
Cal just likes to study stuff. He's not as smart as his sister, but he still likes to learn.
Fair enough. Well, you're probably not a straight A student. There's nothing wrong with spending some time to study and learn a few more things.
Yeah. Again, he just likes to study things. Like he doesn't have like a specific focus. He just whatever catches his fancy that day.
Fair enough. And as the years go on, your bonded dinosaurs grow up. You grow up as well and go from children to adults with your own responsibilities within Black Soot. Uh, Calzias, you begin working the mines, and I believe you said your family is like a mining family, correct? So this is not a
Uh,
surprise, correct?
no, it's not a surprise.
And given your bond with Oron, you're definitely like you both begin like moving large rocks, breaking them down to like manageable chunks to be excavated. Essentially, you do a lot of like manual heavy lifting that in areas that cannot have dynamite explode and rocks fall, everyone dies.
That is appropriate. I'm a very big dude, and I got a dino that can pull a lot of stuff.
Hmm. And while you are doing that, Carthon, you've spent, I mean, the better part of a decade working these fields. And I feel like you and Rava, the years blur together.
Yeah. They've been good years for the most part.
Good yields. Sometimes you are called to the defense of Black Soot, a monster, some bandits getting a little bit close. There's probably like one kidnapping that you are part of like the rescue team.
Part of the
Oh yeah, look at you,
part of
getting
the
climbing up that ladder.
part of the irregular militia. Well, it's good that I can help out a little bit.
Yeah, and like
Develop some pretty good skills.
yeah, like your bond with Rava makes you a very valuable resource to Black Soot. And as such, like while Kazias is like breaking down rocks, you're like operating like heavy machinery with Rava, uh, keeping everything maintained, uh, keeping everything in working order, and like your familiarity with the farming, with navigating like the local nearby area, you're just doing like one different job every single day.
All right. Yeah. The jack of all trades. Well,
The I feel like the first thing that would signify the change is the taste. Just one day, a few years, like before current events, the food just tastes different.
Oh, that's not ominous at all.
all right.
And
So,
and then and this is after a little bit of seismic activity. Like 2 months after that seismic activity, things begin to taste a little bit off. And protocols with black soot. Once like significant seismic activity happens, begin like sending out reports so that the people of the rings can stabilize the area.
um, did the rings intervene like 11 years ago or however long it was?
They did. Uh,
Okay. All right. Good.
it probably took more like 8 months, but they were able to deal with the situation before it boiled over into black soot.
Got it. All right.
This probably happened one more time before now, and eventually the rings did send people. It just takes a long time for them to like finally respond.
Got it. Well, I mean, if to start, Carthon would just figure it. Yeah, they'll handle it. Somebody'll go tell them. I don't actually know how that process works, but yeah, somebody will. They did before.
Yeah, a year passes, and this is like at this point you begin to see from a nearby hill like smoke, and like you are informed like, yeah, there's volcanic activity that is boiling up a nearby like hill, and it is not going away.
It's incredibly concerning. Um, I mean, is this something that everyone notices, or
Yeah,
I just
like you're probably one of the first people to notice, but it's not like there's a lot more than you work in the fields, Carthon.
got it? All right, just checking.
But like you're probably like one of the first to know, and probably one of the first to be told what's going on.
At this point, I was starting to get seriously worried. I guess I'd like to talk to the I don't know, mayor or whoever's in charge and say, hey, who's going to tell the rings about this?
Speaking of the mayor, could somebody please roll me a D68 because we
I'll do
improvise.
it.
We improvise around here.
I'm guessing we're gonna have to roll that on Discord because there's
No, no. If
no.
if you go to chat, do a /r space 1D68.
Oh,
Cool.
I just rolled a 20.
okay. So /r space 1d68.
Yep. Hey, 15. Hmm. That tracks. Uh, could
What is it?
uh could s- could someone please roll a d4 and a d5 for me, please?
I'll roll the
I what you
I'll
gonna
roll
roll?
4.
I'll roll the 5.
All right, 2 for the D4, 3 for the D5.
All right.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So you guys head on to the mayor's house, and I feel like the mayor is probably like an assigned individual from the rings. Would you guys agree with that? Or would this be someone who's earned their way to a leadership position within the community?
Oh, whether it be a Rings mouthpiece or an actual person from around here, it's up to you, I think.
Sure. So as you guys head on over, the by the time the news gets to the mayor's place, th- Mayor Canvas, a female water genasi, she is like talking like it's waiting, like, "Hey, I've heard the reports. There's more seismic activity. I'm going to send more initiatives towards the rings. Right now, I'm drafting the papers. Yes, yes, I understand that there's more movement on the surface, and a lot more monsters. Make sure the militia is aware and are ready to respond at a moment's notice. Yes, I understand the water's been getting a little bit more murky, and uh, Carthon, you eventually get up to like finally get like a edge in this like chaotic series of conversations with the mayor.
Right. Well, I mean, essentially, I'd just say, this is going on. You know what's going on. What's happening with it.
The elements are still out of line. They're not being controlled. The the rings have not sent any assistance with this matter and have not offered a response.
Really, we established that this person's from the Rings, right?
I you know what? One for mouthpiece, two for they earned it. Whoops, forward slash. They earned it, so they grew up here.
Oh, okay. All right. So they don't know. Okay. Well, okay. Is there anything that I could do? Arthon starts to think.
Right now, we need to shift you to militia duties.
All right. Yeah. Sure.
I'm sorry to take you from your field. I'll make sure someone else qualified can take care of your plans, but with all the monstrous activity around Black Soot, we can't have anything breaking through our defenses.
It's all right. Yeah, I get it.
Is Rava up to the task? I know she ate your neighbor's watermelons recently.
Oh yeah, she's fully charged and she's always ready for a fight or to carry me into battle.
Mm. Make sure you go
But
by. Make sure you go by the blacksmith. Make sure their equipment and harness is for any sort of skirmish.
Carthon turns around and now that he can has a moment to himself, he's a little less braggadocious. He's just kind of depressed. Well, I'm sure we'll be fine. Yeah.
Speaking of being fine, Calzias,
Yes.
would you have taken an opportunity to push your way to talk to the mayor or like another political individual within Black Soot as like more activity has been spotted and like more seismic activity has been detected?
I would imagine that the foreman or whoever it's called when they're in charge of the mine and the miners, that they've been trying to get the word in for us. So just trying to focus on work and being safe and let them take care of that.
Yeah, the and as the days turn into months, eventually there are a few cave-ins that are not detected in time. And while casualties are minimal, like the more concerning thing is that people are getting injured and the mines are progressively becoming more and more unsafe. So your focus begins to shift from like just mining out more resources to like just bracing the tunnels and making sure they do not fall.
Yeah, bracing the tunnels, closing off shafts if nothing can be done about possibility. I imagine when an accident does happen, would be one of the ones on top of trying to dig out people.
Yeah. Like that's the big thing. Like most people are just being buried and while a few people do die like from like head injuries, nobody is like buried alive and die in like, that terrible situation.
But yeah, as things do continue getting bad, I imagine Cal and a few others are trying to press the mine operator about what's happening. Um, have you been able to talk to the mayor or the guard garrison or whoever?
Yeah. Uh they the foreman does take steps to begin to like move individuals to like, hey, we are going to like move a lot of our miners out and like, being on more of the surface tunnels, we're going to do a lot more digging on the surface tunnels, just to minimize risk of casualties. But to still meet up the quota of the rings, we still need people deep in the mines to like excavate or excavate gems to to keep up production. And they are like, according to what you hear, they are drilling mare canvas to like expedite the druids' arrival.
Oh, that's one good thing at least, because this is getting a bit ridiculous.
And one day, because of how many miners have been pulled out, 2 years ago, you would have gone down a tunnel, talking with like a squad of miners. You guys would have been going down a tunnel, breaking off more area, filling up buckets upon buckets of slag, and singing a few songs, telling a few stories. Now it's just you, the air around you, and Oron. Just walking down, pulling a minecart into some of the deepest parts of the Black Soot mines. It took a little bit of effort to like get Oron to like be less shy. These expeditions just for the two of you. you are able to notice like they're like pulling back within themselves.
Hey, now nothing's gonna happen. We're going into the one of the areas that's been reinforced. Risk of cave-in is gonna be minimal. Just gonna go in and out.
Mrrr,
I know,
mrrr.
buddy. But the work needs to be done, and I'm one of the ones who's able to who actually work down here still. We won't be down here for long. Somebody else should be around in an hour or two.
Like like they like begin to like nuzzle their face against like your arm. If you don't mind me making a character decision for your friend, I imagine you keep a few sticks on hand for them to like chew out of stress.
Yeah.
They, while they are not a dog, they do have dog-like tendencies of like stick, got stick.
It certainly helps that I could just take the shaft of broken pickaxes and do that.
Hey, after a little bit of discipline, it learned not to break your pickaxe for like the fifth time. And you finally get to the wall that you've been assigned. There's a slight like silver deposit that's like very briefly visible, but it's like surrounded by hard rock and like obsidian. And it's just it seems like you're gonna have to like get larger chunks out at a time.
Hey, at least this obsidian is valuable too.
Yeah, obsidian is maybe not as valuable as you know
Uh,
the silver, but it is still something to export.
mm-hmm.
Can I have you roll a athletics check?
Sure.
All right.
So close.
If you want to add to your inventory, you're not able to get any silver, but I'm willing to let you add 10 gold pieces of obsidian to your inventory. Do you know how to do that?
Cool.
If you go to
Uh,
if you go to inventory
inventory.
next to search, there's a plus.
I see it.
If you like put down like
Miscellaneous.
miscellaneous, yeah, uh, just put down like obsidian and like in description like 10 gold pieces worth. And as you're like mining out the silver, it feels like through your feet to your heart the vibration of your muscles as the earth itself rocks around you. And just like as soon as like you're able to react, you just the ringing of like a loud sound around you signals another bout of seismic activity. And you're like and like they there is like a small forecasting team like dedicated to seismic activity. They didn't say anything like this was going to happen today in the report.
Yeah, no, not risking it. I'm gonna back away from the wall. Get Orin and start trying to get out of this tunnel to a more to where definitely no risk of cave-in is non-existent.
All right. And like you begin to like head on over. And the the you like another bout of like seismic activity. Like you're aware that like at this point the seismic activity like there's like waves like every minute. Like it's gotten that bad.
Is this the first time it's been that bad?
Like previously it's probably like maybe 2 minutes. Now it's like pulses of like 1 minute each.
So practically nonstop. Yeah, no, we're getting out of the tunnel.
Like as like begin
Tend to anyway.
and as you like get up to like the elevator, because there's probably a series of elevators that have been set up. Uh, Orin, you, and probably a few other miners, like are on the elevator, and like they're like, okay, okay, everyone's accounted for. Press the button, and like someone presses the button, and the gates shut, but the platform does not move. Immediately, there's yelling of like they look at the engineer that's been assigned down here and like, what's going on? Is why are we not moving? And another person and the engineer's like, I don't know. I'm not seeing any. And like they look up and like, fuck the shaft. The shaft's broken off at a place. It seems like something hit the steel and detached the couples. And another seismic shift. Like
All right, so we're
rocks.
gonna have to take the long way then.
Fuck. Okay. The doors open up and you guys begin to like navigate through like the emergency routes. And repeatedly, you guys come upon like filled in areas, places where dirt has, where the supports have broken through it and is completely covered in a landfill. Left, right, forward. People know the place. It's just with all this seismic activity, a lot of paths are just sealed off. Some people don't have the energy to keep on running. And do you, Calzias, do you stay back for these people who are struggling, or do you just keep on running with the Oron?
Uh, I stay back and help them.
All right, you stay back, and like a few of these guys, like including this engineer, are just tired from all the running. They've already used their push through a feature given background minor, and they're just there's, there doesn't seem to be a way out.
Listen, there's a lot more emergency exits. We just have to find the one that isn't blocked off. They wouldn't have sent us down here if they knew all the exits were blocked off. All right, just come on, just get on top of Orin. We're gonna get out of here.
Like they nod and both get on top of Orin.
In the
Like,
meantime, you have a sending stone on you, right? I'm talking to the engineer.
uh, I did, but I already used it for today. There was some other immediate business that we had to send word out on, and I'm gonna have to wait. It's not. We can't use it right now.
All right, that's fine. If we're somehow still down here by the time you could use it again, just let them know what happened. Now let's just keep moving.
And that's the last thing you remember. As a as another seismic shift happens around you, and you feel something I'm sorry. My apologies. I forgot what we discussed, and thankfully I just remembered. Retcon that moment as you hear that, and you're like conversing. You hear like another thud of like rocks falling, but it doesn't look like a landslide. No, it looks like something just exploded from a nearby wall, and you see
I
something walk through.
I have to ask, do we still hear the miners that went up ahead?
They are long gone. Since you took a moment to like get them on, and like you can barely hear them through all the movement of the dirt around you.
All right. As long as I don't hear screamings, things have not gotten that bad just yet. This is an issue, but we'll take care of it.
And like
So
you,
there's this thing that came out the wall.
I'm just gonna simply ask you, Calzias, how do you survive this encounter with a hostile earth elemental? I imagine you run. Do you try to find a place to hold out? Do you climb up the mine shaft, like the elevator shaft, manually?
I imagine that we do run away from this thing and try to find a spot to hold out. And I imagine that things eventually go wrong that end in the death of both both of the people that Calcius has helped and Oron. And from there, Cal is not really sure what happened between then and him getting out of the mine. It's all a blank blur.
Carthon, you just heard the news. The bottom, like, three levels of the Black Soot mine have been caved in. There are a few reports of earth elementals. Nothing confirmed, but about 100 people are not accounted for, including your cousin, and probably one other family member.
Would the militia get dispatched over there, assuming I'm still in militia duty anyway?
Yes.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna rush ahead on Rava to get there as quickly as possible and start digging through the rubble myself, and not just because Calzais is there, although that is a huge factor. I just it's such a big tragedy that I can't help myself. I'm breaking formation to do this. So I don't know if that would be considered a big deal or not. Anyway, yeah, once I get there, I join everybody else who's presumably already digging through the rubble and start doing it myself. Come on, come on. There's got to be somebody here.
I mean, on the top level, there's a few people who have survived. Like, the topmost layer of the three. And, like, they're pulled out, but getting deeper and deeper, there's only more and more bodies.
I check who I can, and if they're dead, then, well, fortunately I move on. See if I can save anybody.
After about the second day, Calzias has not been found. And there's it's absolute chaos. Like socially with Mayor Canvas trying to like calm people down. And I think like just for convenience, you've probably been pulled to even though there's like ongoing rescue efforts, they need some people in the city, in the village to like keep the peace. And finally like you like on like one of your patrols, finally somebody comes in. I'm assuming probably what are those? What were those dinosaurs in Jurassic Park that like ran across the plains without a
The
care in the world?
compies,
Hmm.
the compies.
Can someone ride on those?
Compsognathus, they're kind of tiny. Maybe if it was like
Like a halfling?
uh, a Utah raptor or something.
Sure. Uh, riding in very
You
quick.
could say a Deinonychus if it's a halfling.
Sure. On a Deinonychus, there is a very small individual running in, just breezing by, and they like they. It seems like a local, like some like one of the messengers of Black Soot coming up to you, Carthon. Like they, where's the mayor? Uh, are they at their house? Are they?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Um, she could be anywhere.
I have an important message from. I have an important message from. Like they take a moment to like breathe.
It's okay. It's okay. Take all the time you need.
I have a message from my Alto, from the rings.
When did my alpha go to the rings?
Probably at this point, she probably left about like 7 years ago.
Oh wow. All right. What's her job? I forget if we talked about this.
Sh to your knowledge, she's working uh like as a bureaucrat. Though
Okay,
specifics probably elude you.
got it.
Though
Uh,
maybe Calzias might have a better idea.
yeah. Carthon kind of deflates a little. He assumed it was something about like survivors in the mines or something. But yeah, I'll still take it and say I'll make sure the mayor gets this.
Thank you.
All right. Well, is it sealed?
It is sealed.
All right, then I'm not gonna risk opening it to look at it. If it wasn't sealed, I definitely would. Um, but yeah. Okay, I guess I'll try to find the mayor.
All right. Calzias,
Yes.
you are essentially pinned under Oron as like more and more dirt like piles down. Like you hear the screams of the two people you tried to help out. As like essentially the space becomes less and less, and they slowly get buried under the dirt. Like you are just sort of pinned underneath Oron with just very little space for you to like move your hands, your face. as like the seismic activity continually rocks around you and like fills in more of the air. The people you're with like are moving and trying their best. Like they're trying to fight for air, and it's a long time. I'm not sure what you say. I'm not sure how you're dealing with this, but slowly you hear you hear less and less of these voices. Like you feel the movement of aura and like vibrating the earth around you with their noises and trying to move, but even their movements get weaker and weaker. You just have a little bit of space to breathe, pressed up against what you can assume to be a dinosaur and a dead man.
Uh, even though there's not much room with what I have, I'm gonna try to claw at the earth, try to make gaps, try to make more room for us.
It's easy for you to make a little bit more room, but it's super hard for you to try to, especially with like the way you're buried is so far away from Oron's head. Like it's tough. And
And even though I know should not be talking, try to conserve as much oxygen as possible, I am trying to at least try to comfort Auron, even probably past the point where I technically know they're already gone, but hasn't really accepted it yet.
I think this truly is where you start to lose consciousness as like the
Now,
air becomes more and more tough to breathe. Karth
Just going through those last bits of hysterical strength before I just black out.
Carthon.
one question before we do that. So, like, how much of Lexip's population was lost in the mine accident? If like 100 people are unaccounted for,
I think it's not a substantial like this one incident is gonna be maybe like 1-2% of the population. The issue is this is like gonna be the latest in a long series of incidents.
got it. All right,
And also only a lot of the more qualified individuals went down to the mines to continue to work. Like a lot of people with like class levels are going to be lost down here.
all right,
So this is significant.
got it. All right,
And the you've delivered the letter, and after it was read off once by Mayor Canvas, the room goes quiet. I should have been a little bit better on this, but we learn for next time.
No
On
issues, man.
the the letter is very simple. It's written by Myalthel. Uh, and it's begins with like an optimistic like greetings. I hope everyone is doing well, and like saying stuff about like their families, talking about Calzias. But near the middle of the letter, it begins to talk a lot about apparently the Department of Geological Observation has been slammed with essentially tickets from all over the far quarter. She had just learned that the timetable for the next like for them to send a group to fix the issue for Black Soot is another 2 years.
Okay, all right. Where are these other requests from? Out of curiosity, she might not say.
Would definitely not set it, but it is the estimate to get people here at Black Soot to deal with it. Like you guys have been waiting for like almost 2 years at this point, and now it's saying the estimate is another 2 years.
Yeah. All right.
And there's just a quiet.
You know what? Carthon's gonna, he's just gonna say, look, as far as I can tell, my cousin's dead. A lot of my relatives have left anyway. I don't know what I'd be looking for, but I can. If there's a way to help the town in less than 2 years, damn it, I'll do it. I don't know how, but I will.
Canvas just sighs and just looks to everyone else and just. I don't believe we have much of a choice. But the rings are not going to appreciate if we just send too many people to complain. Plus, we don't really have a whole lot of manpower to spare. And she looks into your eyes. You don't know a lot about the mayor's past, but you know she grew up here in Black Soot. She's seen some stuff, she's dealt with some stuff, and just. Carthon, I know You've never been to the rings.
Over in my life.
You sure you can handle the rigors of bureaucracy?
No, I don't know, but if I don't go, then who will? I don't know if anyone here is really equipped to handle it. No offense to everyone in this room.
A few people like look at each other and like none taken. Like a few of the merchants like I can't go through the bureaucracy again. It takes so long and the rules change so much and a few like a few foreigners from the rings are like I don't really have any connections. And essentially it's I want to help, but like who can we really spare? And the conversation comes back to you, Carthon, and a few people that come up with like I know someone. I can offer something. I can give you something. And essentially the town of Black Soot comes together for you. And they begin to tell you a lot about the rings, the culture, and essentially give you some advice on how to like navigate everything.
Got it. Carthon he's pretty smart and maybe even well educated. He's got 12 intelligence, but he doesn't know that much about bureaucracy or anything. So I'm taking notes.
Fair enough. And after about a few hours of like the village coming together to get you what you need, you finally hear some word that there is a survivor from the bottom of the mines.
Maybe start to. I probably wouldn't even think it's Calzias at first unless somebody told me. Just statistically speaking, not the most likely.
Calzias.
Oh, okay. Never
No,
mind.
we're shifting to Calzias
Oh, never
as
mind.
like you're probably told like finally, like it's Calzias. Oh my God, Calzias survived.
Yeah.
Uh, Calzias, you're being brought up on a stretcher. Like the light of the light of the sky like comes into your eyes and just is this death? Is this life? You feel like you're breathing, but it's hard. Your muscles ache. Where's Auron? In your hazy state, you can hear just the yelling of like people around you. How do you react? Carlo?
Uh, how how lucid am I right now?
Semi lucid.
So I imagine everything I'm hearing just sounds like white noise, and I imagine as I'm coming to the one of the first memories that come to me is being chased by that earth elemental, and of the other memories of what happened since then, speaking to Flash and breathing, it kind of is like I'm beginning to hyperventilate and my arms are spasming until all of a sudden I just kind of somebody gets a bit too close to me, somebody not carrying the stretcher, and I just kind of lash out with claws and kind of probably slash at somebody. From there, I imagine I fall off of the stretcher, very shakily get up, and in my mind, I'm still probably under attack by the Earth Elemental, so just hysterical strength. I'm beginning to fight back against something that's in my mind, but I'm unfortunately probably hurting people here.
Like in this haze of like this surge of adrenaline, you begin to you get off where you've been laying down, like begin to lash out. Can I have you make an attack roll? Because this will actually affect. I mean, well, let me ask you this: are you willing to have Calzias be in a really bad situation? Just because I feel like if you like succeed on this, this might be a bad thing for Calzias.
I imagine after I imagine after the first attack, everybody starts noticing that I'm suddenly up, and when they see I'm still out of it, but kind of acting aggressively. I imagine everybody will start kind of like dogpiling, trying to restrain me.
I know that's why I'm like,
So I would
do you,
say the so I would say the hysterical strength gets me that first attack and gets me to stand up, but very quickly goes away and while people are trying to restrain me and I'm trying to get them off me.
yeah, and that's why I'm asking. Are you willing for? Do you want this to just be a simple, exactly that, or are you willing to open up the door to something worse? I'm just saying. Do you want to keep this simple, or do you want to give yourself the chance to have Calzias accidentally make a bad decision? Do you
Let's go with the potential bad decision.
understood? Make an attack roll.
All right, with the claws.
Mm-hmm.
Features. Um, Actions, melee weapon attack, add action, use feature. Okay, I'm gonna eventually figure out how to actually get that happening, but I'm just gonna manually roll it here in the chat.
If you go to your, I think you have to go to features. You have to go to features, heritage features. Well, actually, you already have it. Go to favorites. Click on melee weapon attack underneath claws.
So use feature. There we go.
So do it yourself. I did that for myself, just for my own practice.
Okay. Uh, I'm clicking on use feature and not getting
No,
anything.
not use feature, melee weapon attack, and like click on the icon next to it.
Okay. Uh, Still not getting anything.
It's not pulling up another screen that says activate melee weapon attack.
Mm,
I really should. I just realized I just revealed your character sheet to everyone. We improvise.
it's fine.
Uh, would you like me to just roll for you for this instance?
Yeah. Again, everybody, first session. We're learning here.
All right, one more time. That is a 20.
All right. And I believe it already rolled damage, which is a 4.
Mm-hmm. Good, you rolled low on damage. Carthon.
Yeah.
Calzias has been shackled as they are let out the mines.
Rolled an attack to see if I could do it, which I could. All right. I rush over. I'm both scared and confused, and well, scared and happy, I should say, because obviously my cousin's alive. This is a miracle, but also what did he did he do something wrong? I don't know. I guess I should ask.
Like, like before you even say a word, like someone comes up and like, Carthon, Calzias, they lashed out at one of the people rescuing them. Like you look at like someone else who's like they're also being led on a stretcher, and they have a massive like gash mark across their chest.
Okay, but they're not dead.
You don't know. You're not a medical professional.
All right. Uh, I mean, he must be delirious. He's been buried for like 3 days.
Yeah, yeah, we get it, but well, like you just say like Cal's. How are you reacting to like being led like a prisoner out of the mine, Calzias?
Imagine half struggling because I'm beginning to fall unconscious again, and mumbling. Uh, the few words that sound actually coherent would be Orin, where, uh, and Earthman.
Hey, it's all right. You'll be okay.
Where, where? The others. And Cal is not fully there. He's falling unconscious again very quickly. So it was like that quick burst of adrenaline, and now his body's shutting down again. Hello?
Sorry, I'm doing something real quick. But yeah,
You got it.
as you are essentially taken back home, and like your family like look like they come to give you like hugs in your like agitated state, but after like hearing some of your grumblings and mumblings, you are like led to your room. And once you're left inside, the door locks, and you notice that the windows have been boarded up as well, very quickly. What do?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm not going to be constantly by Calzias' side since I have to work, but I will check on him on a daily basis.
And the rest of the
Uh,
hmm?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you can go.
Um, I imagine he's basically just dropped off on his bed, and uh, he half notices that he's back in an enclosed space. Uh, but again, he's way too out of it, way too weak at this point to really do anything else except kind of hyperventilate and spasm, and eventually he just fully passes out again.
Well, it's not the days that Mark described.
Right then,
Uh, the a lot of your family members do come by to check up on you. First, your immediate family, a few siblings, a few cousins, who tell you, like, we're grateful that you're alive. I hope you recover. As, like, you have passed out. Until finally, Carthon, you've been finally given the green light from Mayor Canvas. Everything's all set up. You just need to come by and grab your final cargo. As you are right in front of Calzias's room.
Right? I'll knock.
Is there a response, Calzias?
How many days has this been?
It's probably been about, like, 7 hours.
Uh, I would say that the knocking kind of wakes him up. And now that he's actually been sleeping with actual supply to oxygen, he's a bit more there. What? What? Where am I? Does Quathon say anything?
Really?
Arthon, my bad.
Yeah, no, I know. I just kind of smile and hug you, knowing that you're still alive. And I don't think there's anything you would say.
Or
You were
where?
you were
What?
underground for 3 days, I think, 2 or 3 days.
3 3 days. What? What happened?
There was a cave in. Um, dude, Paul, do we know if the did that other guy that Cal slashed did he make it or not?
That cow did what?
The guy that he
The dude I
attacked.
attacked. They
They
alive?
they did survive.
Oh, good.
You did
All
not
right.
deal enough.
When you say
You did not deal enough damage to kill them.
cool, awesome, I still
Well,
attack somebody without knowing.
all right, good. Yeah, you were underground for 3 days. I don't actually know how you got out yet. From what I know, though, I don't think anybody else made it. That includes Orin. You also attacked someone. He must have been really delirious, but he'll make it. I'm sorry.
Wasn't wasn't just a cave in. You were attacked.
You were attacked.
Earth elementals came out of the walls.
All right.
Got pinned on the Orin. Tried to dig us out.
Sorry.
Where's Orin?
He didn't make
Where are
it.
the others?
Cal. They're all dead. Everyone else on the bottom 3 floors of the mine. I don't know how you made it out. So sorry.
At this point, his breathing picks up, and if you look at him, his eyes begin to mist up. His facial expression is doesn't look like somebody who's in sorrow. It looks like he's trying to fight back a snarl. Oh, what are you gonna do about this? Where are the fucking druids from the rings?
We actually just got a letter while you were out. It was from your cousin actually. My Alphil. Gonna be another 2 years.
Sister.
Sister. Oh,
Meophels is my sister.
sorry, sister. My bad.
Your
Uh,
cousin, my
thank
Yeah,
you.
sister.
your cousin, their twin.
Thank you for correcting me. It's. She says it'll be another 2 years. Seeing as it's gonna be that long, I actually volunteered to go myself. I don't know what I'd do, but I thought you were dead, and I don't have a lot of other stuff going on. So, if there's a way in the rings to fix all this in less than 2 years, yeah, I'll go.
At this, Al is he gets up very shakily. He begins to pace the room, like making fists. His arms are shaking, and all of a sudden, he just punches the window. Can I roll a strength check?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Ow, your fist hurts. Damn it.
You know what? I dent the wood they used to board up the window. I don't break through it, and I hurt my hand. But the fact is, I still dented this wood.
Yeah, you do bend it much more than you'd expect from a normal punch. It still hurts your knuckles like shit, though.
When do you leave? I imagine that jolt of pain is help clear them up right now.
I don't really know if I'm waiting around for anything. I can get Rava, and we can go right now. I'm not gonna leave. Actually, no. There's one thing I have to do. I'm gonna ask a good friend of mine to look after my farm while I'm gone. I don't want to leave it abandoned. Then I'll
Okay.
get Rava, and I guess we can head for the portal. As long as
Okay.
there's anything you want to do, that is.
I'm gonna come with you.
Parthon smiles. Never doubted it. Well, you probably need a couple hours to at least, I don't know, take a bath or something. I'll be back as soon as I get done with my things, though.
Alright.
But I guess while that's happening, get it clear for me to go with you. 'Cause one way or another, I'm gonna find out what the fuck has happened.
All right, it's a noble goal, I think. All right. Well, in that case, yeah, I go talk to Katarin, a good human friend of mine who not need to be a big player in the story, but she's been a good friend of mine for a while, and yeah, she's the reason that my farm isn't going to go into foreclosure. So that's nice.
I I'm not sure if foreclosure is a thing, but definitely like civil seizure, perhaps.
Yeah,
But you come up to. I do want to narrate this as like the last thing we do for this session zero.
Sure.
Uh, Katerin, she has not excelled enough in like combat strategy to be taken off farming. Some say that's lucky, some say that's just doing your best. As you come up to her, she's probably already been like working your fields on and off. As you come up, she's like probably tilling some of the land, and the dirt has gone from like a pure, like a mix of like browns and reds, to just a dark, almost black. She looks up, a little bit sweaty, and she's like, "Hey, Cawthon, I heard from another person what happened. Is Calzias doing all right?"
Uh, he's alive, but no, he's really not doing well mentally or emotionally.
Shit.
I mean, I figured it's gonna be a long road to recovery, I think, for him, and I wish I could help more. Anyway,
Uh, as you're like talking, like Katarina has already like stood up, walking like and already giving like Rava some like head pats and like scritches.
she really appreciates that, I'm sure. Unironically. All right. Yeah. Well, I will continue to explain then that I am going to be leaving town for a while, and if possible, I'd like her to, manage my farm.
She's like with a few more pets and like listening, like, yeah, 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 I don't mind spending some of my free time making sure everything's in order.
Thanks.
Same. You want me to use the same fertilizer, same water densities that you've been doing?
Yes, and for doing this, I'd be perfectly willing to give you, you know,
And like before you even send, she's like, no, no. Listen, if you're leaving town, I know it's not just to go on vacation.
yeah, but it would be a
Mm,
lot of extra work for you.
we're we're all working, Carthon,
All right.
but if if you want to, I mean, maybe we can discuss payment once you get back, okay?
All right. That's fine. Well, then I will give her a handshake, and since Rava is with me, I'm just gonna, I guess, go back to my farm and grab all the stuff I need, which is the stuff I start with in my inventory, and then head out.
You know, like she helps you pack up, making sure you have enough supply to survive like your trip to like the nearest bureaucratic outpost.
Yeah.
And
Oh, question. Does Rava need two supply per day, being a large creature, or just one?
I'll look that up. I think you do need two supply, but
That's
I
fine.
I might be I will figure out the specifics of that
Yep.
later. But to catch you up where the present day is gonna be, uh, for both of you, as like you guys both like pack up and begin to head out to the nearest bureaucratic outpost to like at least have the chance to go to the rings. The weather is brutal. The trail is barren. But thankfully, Carthon and Calzias, you're both familiar enough with the land to just navigate that pretty easily, despite like the quite frankly brutishly hostile environment. The issue is that once you get to the bureaucratic outpost, you guys are stalled for multiple days because of the amount of bureaucracy that you have to like go through, the permits you have to apply for, essentially going through all this in a small outpost area where they're struggling to print out paper. It's it's not the best. But eventually, finally, word comes back from my Althel, and you guys begin to like send messages to each other. Like maybe not like text messaging, like not that quick, but you begin to like get in a regular rhythm of communicating, and she guides you through like what you need to do. And the reason for this seems really ridiculous because there's so many people in line for teleportations because of the upcoming alignment day, where all the rings of Inasvine come together, like at a perfect circle around the far quarter, all together. That like you guys have just been sort of just dragged around with everyone else trying to be teleported to the first ring.
Yeah.
And we will begin next session, or for you guys next session, we'll be arriving at the ring of love, Amir. Sorry, the disc of love, Amir. I really need to read my own notes. To meet with an old friend and begin making moves to figure out why the hell the bureaucracy has taken so damn long. To everyone listening, yes, I am well aware there was a lot of railroading. But this is session 0, and it does play into a lot of the backstories that Mark and Carlos made. So, as such, next sessions will be, you guys will be given a little bit more freedom to pursue what needs to be done.
Hey, I don't mind at all. I had a great time with this.
Mm-hmm. I had fun. And I hope whoever was listening or whoever's gonna watch this at a later date had enjoys this as well.
Yeah, I had a great time, guys. Really, I appreciate anyone who took 2 hours out of their time to listen to, just us play D&D. That's really cool of you guys. Thank you.
Hello to Bailey, the only person who I don't recognize on the stream chat.
Yep. Hello, new person. It might be somebody that I linked, or maybe not. I don't know.
Perfect. They're asking how y'all are doing, and I think you guys have already answered how
Yeah,
y'all are doing.
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Doing all right.
Wow, I'm actually looking at the stream for the first time, and Malice is bobbing up and down the corner. He looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's been reacting to what you've been saying. Like it's been working.
Oh
It,
yeah, no, I'm really glad. I'm glad we actually got him set up.
honestly, it's sort of persuaded me maybe I should do what. There's another stream that does, maybe not VTubers, but at least like PNG reactions
Yeah,
for like every single person, and I might be interested in running something like that, but
yeah. It was kind of a big effort, obviously, to get this guy set up. But if he was working the whole time, then it was definitely worth it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's been bobbing. He's been emoting your stuff.
Very cool. All right. Well, if that's it, then yeah. Next time might be the deadly session. But yeah, whenever the other two players are having their session 0.5s or whatever, I'd love to join in, or at least listen to it later.
Cool, cool. Uh, Well, Bailey, if you do make in fact astonishing graphics, if you want to like put down a link of like to your work, I mean, I wouldn't mind at least taking a look at that.
All right then.
But yeah,
Great.
uh, I'll. I think we can at least stick around for at least a response.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, technically, I don't have to leave for like 12 more minutes, but yeah. Um. Yeah. This was a lot of fun, though. I'm going to
This was a lot of fun, and
see
our
you.
first session of hopefully a long game.
Oh, yeah. It could be a
Oh,
bot.
it could also be a bot.
We don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bialy, if you're not a bot. But, we don't wanna make any undue accusations.
Fair enough. If you're one of our friends, feel free to, DM us personally. But otherwise,
All right.
uh,
Yeah. I'll turn off my guy and see when the session's over.
you guys take care, and thank you for coming to the first session of the Rings of Inasvine. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
I just stopped streaming. You just barely missed it.
Damn. Oh well. So
Yeah.
now that we had our first stream, how do you feel, Paul?
Well,